Have you ever dreamed of rolling hills, medieval towns, and golden light that seems to slow down time itself? That's Tuscany, a region in central Italy where history, art, and nature blend into one breathtaking travel experience. Italy is world famous for its culture, food, and scenic beauty, and Tuscany is one of its most iconic regions. Nestled between the Apennine Mountains and the Tyrrhenian Sea, Tuscany is where Renaissance masterpieces, olive groves, and vineyard-covered hills come together. From Florence's timeless art to the winding alleys of hilltop villages, Tuscany offers something for every kind of traveler, especially those experiencing it for the first time with family. Let's explore the best places to visit in this enchanting region. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end, because we saved the absolute best for last. We started our Tuscan adventure in Florence, and it truly set the tone for everything that followed. This enchanting city, often called the cradle of the Renaissance, is where world-changing art, timeless architecture, and centuries of history come together in the most beautiful way. Standing before Michelangelo's David in the Accademia Gallery left us speechless, while Botticelli's The Birth of Venus at the Uffizi Gallery was nothing short of mesmerizing. And of course, no visit would be complete without marveling at the breathtaking Duomo with its massive dome, engineered by Brunelleschi. But beyond the museums and monuments, Florence has a unique energy that fills every alley and piazza. As we wandered through the cobbled streets, we stumbled upon tucked-away courtyards, sunlit piazzas where locals linger over espresso, and gelato shops offering flavors like pistachio and fig. The scent of leather led us to bustling markets where handcrafted bags and belts tempted us at every corner. Florence is not just a city you visit, it's one you feel, with every step revealing a new surprise. A must-do is climbing to Piazzale Michelangelo for a panoramic view of the city at sunset. It's a moment you won't forget. As we experience the firsthand, we suggest to book tickets in advance for the Uffizi Gallery and Accademia to avoid long lines, especially during summer. Did you know that Florence was the first city in Europe to have paved streets back in 1339? We found this pretty interesting. From Florence, we made our way south to Siena, a jewel of medieval Italy and one of the best preserved historic cities in the country. Surrounded by rolling hills and vineyards, Siena immediately swept us into its rich past. At the heart of the city lies the famous Piazza del Campo, a unique fan-shaped square that gently slopes toward the Fonte Gaia, a beautiful 15th-century fountain. Twice a year, this square transforms into a roaring stadium for the Palio di Siena, a centuries-old horse race that's as fierce as it is festive. We could almost feel the echo of hooves on stone and the energy of the crowd just standing there. Every street in Siena seems to tell a story. Wandering through its labyrinth of narrow alleys, we passed arched windows, weathered brick walls, and little cafes serving fresh panfort and espresso. The city's Gothic cathedral, with its black and white striped marble and ornate carvings, stopped us in our tracks. It's one of the most stunning churches we've ever seen. Strolling along the peaceful city walls offered sweeping views of the countryside and a welcome moment of quiet reflection. It's our suggestion that you visit the Torre del Mangia for sweeping views of the rooftops. Just be ready for a lot of stairs and wear comfortable shoes. Did you know that each of Siena's 17 neighborhoods has its own emblem, colors, and mascot? Almost like a medieval version of Hogwarts houses. Next, we drove through the golden Tuscan countryside to San Gimignano, a striking hilltop town that seems to rise straight out of a medieval fairy tale. What sets it apart, and what you notice immediately as you approach, are its towering stone spires. In the 14th century, wealthy families competed to build the tallest towers as a display of power and prestige. While only 14 of the original 72 towers remain today, they still dominate the skyline, earning San Gimignano the nickname. Medieval Manhattan. Once inside the fortified walls, we were transported back in time. The ancient stone streets are lined with artisanal shops, wine bars, and family-run restaurants, all housed in centuries-old buildings. We made sure to stop at Gelateria Dondoli, which has won multiple world championships. Trust us, the saffron and pine nut flavor was unforgettable. After exploring the charming squares and climbing one of the towers for a panoramic view, we took a moment to relax and gaze out over the rolling vineyards and olive groves that stretch as far as the eye can see. Based on our experience, we recommend to arrive early or visit in the late afternoon to avoid the crowds from tour buses. Did you know that San Gimignano is home to a gelato world champion? Yes, the gelato here has won international awards. Of course, we couldn't miss Pisa. It's one of those iconic stops that everyone recognizes, yet it still manages to surprise you in the best way. The Leaning Tower definitely steals the spotlight. And yes, we absolutely took the classic holding up the tower family photos. It's a must. But the real magic is in the entire Piazza dei Miracoli, or Square of Miracles, which is every bit as enchanting as its name suggests. This grand open space is home to the cathedral, the baptistry, the cemetery, and the tower itself, all beautifully aligned and gleaming with white marble. Together, they form a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and standing among them feels like stepping into a living museum. But there's much more to Pisa than just its famous tilt. Beyond the crowds, we wandered into the historic old town where narrow streets reveal pastel buildings, lively student cafes, and hidden courtyards filled with flowers. A leisurely stroll along the Arno River offered a quieter side of the city, with views of elegant bridges and riverside architecture that glows in the afternoon light. We ended our day at a cozy trattoria, tucked away from the tourist zone, where we enjoyed fresh pasta, local wine, and the kind of warm hospitality that makes you feel like family. Here's what we learned while traveling. Climbing the Leaning Tower is allowed, but children must be at least 8 years old. Did you know that the tower has leaned ever since its third story was built in the 12th century? Due to soft soil? We found it interesting. Just a short drive from Pisa is the serene and elegant city of Lucca, a place that quickly won our hearts. What makes Lucca truly special is its intact Renaissance-era walls, which completely encircle the historic center. But instead of serving as a defensive barrier, these ancient walls have been transformed into a tree-lined promenade, a peaceful, elevated path where locals and visitors walk, bike, jog, or simply sit and soak in the views. It's like a green belt wrapped around a treasure trove of history. Inside the walls, Lucca is full of hidden gems. Quiet piazzas open up between winding alleyways, each one with its own charm and story. We stumbled upon beautiful Romanesque churches, inviting cafes and open-air markets selling everything from fresh produce to handmade linens. Renting bikes was one of the best decisions we made. Circling the city on 2 wheels felt like gliding through history. The pace was slow, the breeze was warm, and the kids absolutely loved the freedom. We can highly recommend to rent a tandem bike for fun family rides along the ramparts. Did you know that Lucca's walls were never used for battle and are now one of the best preserved city walls in Europe? Driving through the Chianti countryside felt like entering a painting. Rolling hills, endless vineyards, and rustic farmhouses around every bend. This is the heart of Tuscany's wine country, but it's not just for wine lovers. Many wineries are family-run and welcome visitors of all ages with tours, tastings, grape juice for the kids, and even cooking classes. We stopped at a small agriturismo and enjoyed a homemade meal that tasted like it came from a Tuscan grandma's kitchen. It's our suggestion that you stay overnight at an agriturismo, farm stay, to fully experience the region's warmth and hospitality. Did you know that the Chianti region is home to the famous Black Rooster seal, which guarantees the wine's origin and quality? Of course, no trip to Tuscany is complete without indulging in the local cuisine, which is deeply rooted in tradition and regional pride. Tuscan food is all about simplicity, freshness, and bold, earthy flavors. Meals here are not just about nourishment, they're a celebration of place and season. One of the standout dishes we fell in love with was pici, a thick, hand-rolled spaghetti often served with cacio e pepe, wild boar ragu, or a garlicky tomato sauce. Another must-try is ribollita, a hearty soup made with seasonal vegetables, beans, and stale bread, a classic example of the region's rustic and resourceful cooking. And for meat lovers, bistecca alla Fiorentina is an experience in itself. A huge, perfectly grilled T-bone steak, cooked rare and shared family style. In small trattorias and countryside farmhouses, we sampled dishes like crostini Tuscany, chicken liver pâté on toasted bread, and acquacotta, a warming vegetable soup from the Maremma region. For dessert, cantucci with vin santo is a timeless tradition. Those crunchy almond cookies are made for dipping in sweet, amber-hued dessert wine. And of course, gelato is everywhere. We made it a point to try a different flavor in every town. Fig and walnut in Siena, lemon and basil in San Gimignano, pistachio in Lucca. Each one was unforgettable. Look for restaurants labeled osteria or trattoria. They tend to be more authentic, family-run, and offer seasonal dishes made with love. Tuscany's rolling hills don't just look stunning, they produce some of the world's finest wines. Rich soil, sunny slopes, and centuries of tradition make wine tasting a must here. At the heart of the region is Chianti, marked by the Black Rooster seal that guarantees authenticity. Along the Strada del Vino, small wineries welcomed us with stories of heritage and harvests. In Montalcino, we discovered the bold Brunello di Montalcino, while nearby Montepulciano impressed us with the smooth Vino Nobile di Montepulciano. Even if you're not a wine expert, sipping these wines alongside local cheese, bread, and olive oil is unforgettable. Many wineries are family-friendly, offering grape juice tastings, vineyard tours, and pasta-making workshops for kids. Tuscany is one of those rare places that actually lives up to the hype, and then some. Whether you're standing beneath Florence's dome, biking Lucca's walls, or sipping wine in the Chianti Hills, there's a certain magic here that stays with you long after the trip ends. Ready to start planning your Tuscan escape? If you enjoyed the journey, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your fellow travelers, and subscribe to our channel for more adventures around the world. Please check the links in the description for recommended travel essentials. Let us know in the comments which place is on your bucket list, or share your own travel tips. Remember, travel is not just about the destinations but also the memories you create along the way. Thank you for watching, and let's the journey begins.